it's very easy to kind of get down from comparing yourself to people around you, but everyone has their own path. If you're like 21 and you don't know what your major is, or if you're 25 and you don't have your dream career, but your best friend has theirs and they won't shut up about it, or if you're 30 and your mom's saying you should be married, everyone has their own path. I mean, my parents and aunts and uncles and like my whole family have sang most of my life. My parents still to this day will do shows at like their friends' parties and little restaurants around my hometown and stuff. I had an uncle that was an Elvis impersonator, like rhinestone suit, the whole nine. And but I mean, so I was kind of always around it, and I did a little bit of church stuff, and then I was about 18, I joined my first band, and we covered like 90s rock and 2000s rock and stuff like that. And then I had friends that had kind of moved up to Nashville with some relatives, Muscadine bloodline. I knew some of those guys from Alabama, and he was like, you got to be closer to Nashville. So I've been in and out of music my whole life, and just, it got me up here. It was called Kalijah Idol, and it was American Idol style thing, and there was probably 100, 150 people in it. And I won it, and I won $975 because it was like 97.5 was the host radio station. And it's like, why couldn't it have been like a non-existent radio station called, this is 98.427,
Yeah.
We did a lot of meetings, listened to hundreds of songs, and Devil You Know and More Than a Prayer came from the same meeting. So just coincidentally took the next two songs we cut came from the same meeting, which was pretty wild. And I just, as soon as I heard it, I knew there was a relatability to it that I could put out as my own and not feel like this imposter syndrome kind of thing. It's been an exciting year for this song. I think it came out in February, and it's probably got 115 million streams or something like that. When you put out an album with that many songs, you don't know what people are going to kind of gravitate towards. And this one has been a great one. We've got a lot of videos of towns we've never been to, and people won't know every song. You're kind of the new guy coming through this local county fair or whatever, but God and Guns N' Roses and Devil and all those, they'll know them word for word. And so it's been one of my favorites in a long time that I've put out. But this is God and Guns N' Roses. She was sitting at a full-top with a few of her friends, working off the work week, a couple drinks in. That jukebox dime finally hit Paradise City. She was screaming every word like it was 87. She caught me looking and laughing, singing along too. She just smiled and spun across the room, made a beeline for the dance floor, pulling me by the hand, telling anyone who'd listen, this is my favorite band. Saying, oh, 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 sweet child of mine's alright, but have you heard, don't cry. Whoa, 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 she knew every B-side, and I just sat and let her talk all night. Thank the whiskey for the tipsy dance she gave me. Thank a couple lucky strikes there for my lucky streak. Thank the barkeep for keeping that patio open. Yeah, I could keep going. Thank God, and Guns N' Roses. One thing that's really cool to meet my wife, I was talking to some of you guys around here, she's a videographer, photographer, and she has been directing a lot of my contents, and she did our last music video with Caitlin Butts and myself, and so get to do projects with her is really cool. We did a music video for Might Be Dangerous featuring Caitlin Butts, and that was her directorial debut, and it was really cool to get to do that together, and I was also just in general excited about the video, so that's probably been one of the coolest things ever. Oh, 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 sweet child of mine's alright, but have you heard, don't cry. Whoa, 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 she knew every B-side, and I just sat and let her talk all night. Thank the whiskey for the tipsy dance she gave me. Thank a couple lucky strikes there for my lucky streak. Thank the barkeep. It was actually such a surreal experience how we put the pre-sale up, and I'd actually met this couple at a recent show, and she messaged me and she's like, oh, I couldn't get into the pre-sale. I'm like, it's probably something messed up on it. Let me ask management. We'll get you taken care of. It'll be fine. And I said, it's not sold out. I was like, it's been like 30 minutes. It's not sold out. And it was sold out. Like couldn't believe it. And so going to new cities that Boston and New York are two of the new ones we're going to, and they sold out within like a couple hours. And so that absolutely blew my mind.
Whoa, 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 sweet child of mine's alright, but have you heard, don't cry. Whoa, 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 she knew every B-side, and I just sat and let her talk all night. Thank the whiskey for the tipsy dance she gave me. Thank a couple lucky strikes there from my lucky streak. Thank the barkeep for keeping that patio open. Yeah, I could keep going. Thank God, and Guns and Roses.